Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Bernard. In the Missouri Botanical Gardens, Dr. Rainer Bussmann is here and back with me in the studio. We were just talking about the work that the garden is doing in Peru to work with farming families to bring coffee here that we can purchase right here in St. Louis. And you all are also doing, in your research of plant life and plant use throughout the world, doing some work in Madagascar.
Absolutely. The garden has always tried to find area being researched, and Madagascar is one of them. It used to be a white spot on the botanical map, and we started working there in the 1980s. The garden just celebrated 25 years of Madagascar. And because our motto is conservation and sustainability, we try to implement that on a long term wherever we work, which is, generally speaking, in 40 countries right now. So it's a very large program.
Yeah, that's great. So what are you doing? What are you finding in Madagascar that we can...
Well, Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world. People try to grow rice. It's an island susceptible to cyclones and locust invasions. So it's a very poor environment. Only 10% of the original forest are left. And people, of course, depend on that resource very much. Every year, some of our communities are affected by cyclones. Well, people,
what is this?
These are actually locusts. People are now collecting locusts and dry them to eat them because otherwise these guys eat the whole harvest. And since the same community has just been passed by a cyclone, there is nothing else. And it's very hard to get to. You have to haul your boat through rapids.
Oh, wow.
So it's not easy to access those communities. This would be a house built after the cyclone, a couple of palm leaves, a couple of mats. So people don't have, in essence, anything. You have to ride on ox carts at the end to get to wherever you want to take your equipment. So it's a very difficult region. But we try to help the local families to, well, feed themselves. People have, of course, plenty of children. They all need to eat. They all need education. And we try to contribute to that by trying to, for example, like in case of coffee, finding products that those people could grow, finding better uses for their forests, or helping them to use that little resource that is there in a sustainable way so that it lasts longer.
So do you have people in the field right now in Madagascar helping the communities there?
We absolutely do. The Madagascar program, in fact, has about 140 staff, and 138 of them are from Madagascar. So we try to build local capacity, which is very important to make this long-term sustainable, because no program can be financed forever. So most of our staff works there, is from there, and this gives us, of course, also very good government relations, because in essence every botanist in Madagascar is trained by MBG, and it gives us trust with the local population, which is of course very important if you start talking about their local knowledge, how people use plants. Which in turn comes back to us, because I mentioned before, rosy periwinkle, a very important cancer drug, originally comes from Madagascar. So it's an exchange that is important for us, which is why this work does in fact contribute to our own well-being also.
So interesting. Is there a way that St. Louisans can learn more about the things that you all are doing on a regular basis?
Oh, absolutely. The first start would be come to the garden, then become a garden member. As a member, you get informed about our programs. And we always love to have members coming in and give them behind-the-scene tours. All of us like to give talks to inform the public. And of course, we also invite the public to participate as volunteers. Of course, they can help us with our programs. They can sponsor our programs. So everybody is welcome.
So it's just amazing how much is going on. Today is a beautiful day here in St. Louis, and everybody's getting ready to start planting their own flowers, but to hear about what's going on throughout the world and all the work that you all are doing is just really amazing and extremely gratifying as well.
It definitely is for us, and it makes St. Louis the center of botanical research on the globe, and I think all St. Louisans can be very, very proud of that.
Yeah, and we are. So thank you so much for coming to share it with us. Please come back and tell us more that you've got going on next year. We always want to hear it. It's a great way to learn more about what's going on outside.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more STL TV Live, but first let's take a look at today's featured hot jobs brought to you by Slate and Missouri Workforce Development.